Hello, everyone. Today, as always, I open my heart to each and every one of you. But today, I want to ask a specific question. What is your current level of disconnect? Now, by that, I mean, what scam are you taking part in, whether knowingly or unknowingly? There's so many to choose from. Are you one of these people who thinks if you join the right team that you're going to get ahead in life? Do you think if you're a high paid doctor, a lawyer, a police officer, a military person, a government official, or a government worker, that you're doing something good? Deep down within you, you have a feeling that you want to go do something that's helping, that's doing something right. But little do you know that you're actually adding to the problem because it's all, for the lack of a better word, rigged. It's all rigged so that no matter what you do, you stay a few steps behind. Now, if that's not obvious, I don't know what else to say to get people to actually open their eyes and see it. Let's say, how many people out there have children or have friends that they haven't seen in a long time, and they know more about their football team or their favorite athlete's stats or their favorite TV show, or might I say, like their trap, their mind trap, that they want that sudden rush, that sudden fulfillment, that need for something. And half the time, it's not even a good thing. They're watching drama shows or shows that scare them or shows that are fear mongering just so they can keep themselves in a perpetual state of worry. It's like when people really grasp this whole thing and realize that there's never been many moments in your life, if any, where you've been here thinking for yourself other than a choice between this and this, or do you want to go here or there, or do you want to have corn on the cob or peas and carrots for dinner, something like that. It's like these little decisions are not choices. They're just preferences, little picks here and there. You have never had the chance to make a choice of your own. Now, we can't always blame it on our parents. Some of us may have been raised in like a family that was in one of these groups of people, in some of these so-called elite families. But most of us have not been. Most of us have been raised in a place where our parents and our grandparents and even our great-grandparents and on have been raised in the same situation, the same cycle, and they didn't even know that they were part of this trap. Some of them do, some of them don't. But depending on how frustrated and how one lashes out, they end up getting themselves put in jail. Then everything gets looked or turned on them like they're the bad guy. In my situation, I have done everything I could in the kindest way because I've been working my ass off to save up money, to be a good example for my kids, while in the meantime, the people who are actually causing the biggest problems are the mothers by hiring or basically putting into paperwork with these criminal people who think they're doing good, maybe some of them, but this criminal organization that thinks it has the right to say, do this or else we'll put you in this cage. Now, this is an obvious thing for a lot of people, but when they're in a non-stop threatened environment where that is always over their head, when they're doing the right thing, literally in my situation, I've done the right thing. And instead of anything coming good out of me working my ass off and being a good example and saving up for a place for me to have my kids move in, instead, I said to my exes, I want to teach my kids. I want to take them out of school. This system is falling apart in a major way. Not even falling apart, it's broken. And I want to be the one who raises my kids and teaches my kids and shows them how to be healthy, shows them how to grow their own food, shows them how to be one with nature. Now, if those things are silly to people because they like being stuck in their little box with their remotes and their little gadgets and gadgets, do you know how far away you're being pulled from reality? I'm sorry to say this, but so many people feel like technology is the way to go. But to be honest with you, like if government is for a form of our slavery, now if we have to depend on technology, what are we becoming then? Now we're becoming into a place where we technological. We don't have to even be logical. We can use chat GPT or whatever the hell it's called to do things for us. We can make up things. We can have something else do our work for us, come up with our ideas for us, give us a template that we just sort of fill in because we don't even use our imaginations anymore. Very few of us. When I tapped into this place and I felt the weight of our fucking universe on me, I can't just shake it off and be like, well, I'll go back and take part of this fucking criminal system. That's what I'll do. Yeah. Because an enlightened being does not look like the storybook. That's something that's given to you as a child, or as you've grown up, you had the mind of a child looking for answers and you found them in a book. What about looking out there? Do you understand this book any book is telling you a story of things that they've collected from out there, and they brought them in here, not in a book, not in a door that you walk into and sit down with a bunch of people and have some donuts and coffee afterwards and shoot the shit about what you did last night when you were getting drunk, or what you're going to do next week at work, or what affairs going on in the office. These are not spiritual people. These are at best what they call religious people, because they are not spiritual. They are not at one with what is. Because if they were at one with what is, unless they are sacrificing their children, offering them up to be, here, let these be your guinea pigs. Let these children be the ones you practice all your experiments on, because I'm too afraid to stand up for them. Now, that's not what I'm saying. That's what everybody else is saying with their inaction, with not standing up to say something because you're afraid. You don't want your family to be uncomfortable. Well, guess what? I am fucking uncomfortable as it comes, because this is real. It's not a fake thing that this doesn't turn off when the camera goes off. This is something 24/7, 365 and eternal in me. I remember stuff that goes so far beyond a time frame, or so back far beyond a time frame. It's like nobody has a clue what I mean. Some people are saying, I saw demons and I felt this and I felt that and I had this past life where I was in Atlantis. All of those are just one little blip of what I've seen. I've been through many, many, many cycles of all of this. Like an earth cycle has every history, every possible future, every idea and experiment and every possibility. It's not something that I think is so fascinating because I've really done it. It has no effect on I'm not enticed by all these things. I don't think they're impressive. I'm not going to tell you about all this shit because it means nothing now. Right now, we need to get ourselves out of this rock that's over top of us. We need a whole bunch of people to pick this boulder up. It's not just one person who knows what's going on, or a few people who are gathering together what's going on from reading books. This happened to me. One day, I was a sex addict, drug addict, workaholic. I ate garbage. I fucking pigged down on meat, which is just dead flesh, dead animals, say it the right way. And that next day, when this happened, it all stopped. All of it. Not by choice. I couldn't go back to acting like somebody I was the day before. And as time went on, it just felt more and more foreign to me to act like this guy I thought I was. Now, I'm not expecting that to happen to anybody else. And at the same time, I hope it doesn't, because it shook my foundation to the core and back. I'm lucky I found my way back into a place where I can speak normally without having my mind fried from all the shit that I've seen and gone through. This is not just a thing that I imagined. It's a thing I feel. It's a thing that I've experienced and that I know. And because I say that to people, they're like, oh, I can't imagine that. That doesn't fucking matter if you can't imagine it, dude. This is real. If you want to know what's real, think about this. Do you think, now when I said, which scam are you caught up in it? Did you know on Amazon, you don't even have to have physical products? No, you can just drop ship. Me and a friend of mine made $60,000 in 1 month by selling these lovely candles. Ooh! Are you fucking kidding me? There's a world falling apart out here and you're trying to make $60,000 off of selling fucking candles. Give me a break. Now, that's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not a huge big deal, but the capitalizing off other people and stealing fucking money for candles, maybe not stealing, but it's bullshit. It's bullshit to the greatest degree, all the stuff we're doing. What sport are you in? What new nasty fucking dead sandwich mixed with all kinds of sugars and fucking and GMOs and whatever poisons they can pump it with are you going to gulp down next? Just because you don't think about it and it tastes good. My taste buds. It's like, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. This is just what I see. I look around at the world and I love them on a spiritual level. But I think to myself, like, how are all these people really living in a world when they're this fucked up? When they're this out of control and not able to think? Now, if you can settle down and keep your mind contained for 10, 15, 20 minutes, that's a good start. But if you can't even sit still and focus on something for a few minutes, and your attention span is like, I gotta do this, see what this person's doing, gotta scroll, gotta tap, gotta comment, gotta look for if you're like that, You are so out of control and you're so set up for failure. You just don't even have a clue what's coming. Now, I know what's coming, and I'm trying to prepare us and deflect it before it happens. I can. I know I can. If somebody doesn't believe they can do something, do you think they're going to get it done? No. Not only do I believe this, belief in that way doesn't mean jack shit if I'm not planning on acting upon it, which I am doing right now. I'm reaching out every day in every way that I can without trying to offend anybody, because I'm not really mad, like I said, at any specific person. There are entities and groups that I can definitely say that they piss me off because, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say, oh, love and light, everybody, because the Spirit is with us all. Yes, it is. And it's in me. And it's in every person who's committing murder right now. And it's in every person who's passive right now. It's in every Buddhist monk. It's in every rapist. It's in every mass murderer. It's in every child who just started school. It's nothing but spirit. Now you have a physical body, a spiritual body, a mental body, an elemental body. There's all kinds of different pieces to it, all different fragmentations of it. But what you got to understand is when you become in control of them all, you see how messed up and disconnected everybody else is. And it's not because you're trying to put them down. It's because you're actually trying to grab a hold of them and lift them up to a place where they never thought they could be. And because it's scary when you get started, they shy away from it altogether. And most people just think it's full of shit because their minds have been manipulated from birth and even before that with their generations of ancestors leading up to this point. Now, some people cannot be saved to a certain degree. But if people understand that this is something that needs to be addressed and it can't just be looked at and be like, oh, interesting, they got a point. Now let me see my favorite show on Netflix. You are totally just shutting out what matters for what you're addicted to. Now, I'm not saying have an unhealthy addiction to studying spiritual text and getting into esoterics, because when you do that, you get yourself stuck in another trap. Too many people are stuck on that trap. You got to know history in order to know now. No, you can look around at your own past mistakes and make a lot of changes now. Then you can also see what other people are doing in the world and what has been done in your lifetime past, and just maybe some of the more immediate history past, and see what's going on now. And if you want to go into those dark rabbit holes, sure, do that. But if you spend all your time doing that, how much time are you going to have to apply in this real world right now that needs you to be here? Not much. Now, I'm not saying any of this to rile anybody up. I'm saying this because it's so important that we get people together. I'm totally offering, this may not seem, and you guys have at least seen me, if you've seen me in any other video, I'm a very calm guy. I'm a very loving, relaxed guy. There are some things that you just can't take too much without, you have to let it out, So I can offer how to teach you how to understand these patterns in nature, how to calm yourself, how to calm your mind, how to get through the period of cleansing your body of all the poisons and toxins, and I can be here for you while you cope through that point of time or that period of time where you're going through the cleansing and you're going through all that negative removing of toxins. And those things can really mess your head up, because right now most people are so sugar toxic, even MSG and GMOs and every acronym and abbreviation you can give it, they're all loaded with those. Most of us are made out of plastic and software at this point. Not completely, some of us. And some of us are just so fried in the brain on their prescription drugs. They will stand behind their doctor and say, my doctor's a good doctor, all the way up to their grave, instead of actually changing their diet and getting in shape and doing some healthy practices. Now, why does that sound so bad for people? Well, I've never been a healthy person, so I'm not going to start now. I want to live a long, healthy life of fatness and boredom and laziness. Yeah, that's really going to work good for you there, bucko, isn't it? Now, without ruffling too many feathers, that's all I'm really going to say. What are you disconnected on? What are you stuck to that is keeping you disconnected? What scam are you literally in? Are you chasing after money? Are you trying to get in the system? Do you want to be a healer or a health coach when all you got to do is take a 30-day class and now you got a certificate and you can teach people health when you don't know jack shit about it and you're just a pretty girl with yoga pants? Ooh, I do yoga. I have no connection at all. I've never had any higher experiences, but I can teach people. No, I can teach people because I know what the hell I'm talking about. It's just other people don't want to hear that when they hear so many other people that are so confident in it and they have no clue. I'm not an actor. I'm a real person who's been through some real heavy shit. And guess what? I'm here to take that heavy shit off of you because I already went through it to show it to you and teach it so that your kids can grow up in a better world. So my kids can grow up in a better world. And so that all of us who pass on and happen to come back to this earth plane can have a better life next time or the previous time, because time is just an illusion in a body that's physical. But I'm not going to get into that. I'll leave it at that. Until next time, guys, I love you. Please try to get together. Try to get your heads out of the clouds, down here on earth somewhat, but develop a connection with the higher thing. Develop a connection with your friends again. Reach out to an old friend. Call your brothers and sisters. Be close to your kids. Ask them how they feel. If you know more about your sports, your sports icons and your TV shows and your actresses and actors than you do your own kids and some of your best friends, then don't you think that maybe you've been a little absent and you might need to come back for a moment? Just maybe. This is all from the heart. I love you guys. Until next time, peace.